Good morning. It's Sharon Jameson in cold St. Louis, Missouri, in my hotel room. And I'm about to go to one of my meetings, and I wanted to share three insights that came across last night from our Dare to Be Me amazing mastermind group. Again, three insights about intimacy. Because if you think about it, intimacy means into me see. Hey, YT. But you can never have intimacy without inquiry, which means that we have to ask questions. Intimacy requires inquiry. So I want to leave three comments, three points that I talked about yesterday with our mastermind group, and hope they resonate with you as you go throughout this day with your relationships with your loved ones, with your colleagues, with your collaborators, or anybody that you may lead. I want you to consider these three things because it would definitely change your life. Hey, Edward, thanks so much for joining me. The first thing I want to remind you is that people, you can't express love in a way that another person does not experience love. I'm going to say that again. You have to express love, express it in a way that a person experiences love. Express, experience. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Angie. When we don't give people or show people love in a way that they experience love, our love doesn't have the same value. Now, it doesn't matter what your intentions are, right? It matters about the impact. And so if we are going to have intimacy with other people, other colleagues, other coworkers, we have to be able to express love in the same way that they experience love. We have to express support in the way that they experience support. We have to express nurturing in the way that they experience nurturing. We can't just give people what they want and expect that they like it. For example, if a person wants ice cream, you can't give them broccoli and then you're mad that they don't like the broccoli. So we got to make sure that our expression matches their experience, which means that we have to ask them questions, because we can't use our life as a reference point for everybody else's life. Mainly because God made us all different. We are all wired to be very different. Hey, Sherry. And not only we are wired differently, but we have had different experiences. We have been raised and reared very differently. So something that might feel like love to you might feel like an attack to someone else. So again, we have to make sure that the way that we express love is the same way that a person experiences love. So one question you can ask someone is, how can I win at loving you? How can I win at supporting you? How can I show up to make you feel valued? Those are questions that we can ask people to make sure that our expression and their experience are in alignment. And that's what you want, is alignment. The second thing I want to say about intimacy is that the golden rule for us to really have great love. Hey, Kelly, thanks so much for joining me, and thanks so much for joining me, Sherry. And if you will, please share the video. When we think about love or even valuing people, the golden rule says, do as to others as you will have them do unto you. But guess what? The golden rule is insufficient to have closeness. The golden rule is inadequate. So what we want to do is elevate from the golden rule to the platinum rule. The platinum rule says that treat people how they want to be treated. That means that I wanted to treat people how they want to be treated, versus the golden rule says treat people how you want to be treated. Again, golden rule says treat people how you want to be treated, but the platinum rule says treat people how they want to be treated. And so that means for us to operate, to soar higher in our relationships, it's incumbent upon us to treat people based on the golden rule, which means that we have to ask them questions because we don't know what they need. Remember, people are not made on assembly lines. People are molded and fashioned differently. They have different experiences, different expectations, different needs. That means that we cannot be intimate with them without inquiry. Remember, intimacy requires inquiry. And so that's the second thing I want you to think about. The third thing I want you to think about is that closeness always requires customization. I'm going to say that again. Closeness and connection always requires customization. We have to customize our relationships. That's why two relationships are never the same. Why? Because you and I are different people with different people. How I am with Kelly might be very different than I am with Tanya, and how I'm different with Tanya may be different than I am with Sherry. How I'm different with my boss is different than I am with my employees. How I am with my pastor is different than I am with my son. All of us are different people. Hey, Jay, with different people, which means that since we are different people with different people, every relationship needs to be customized because people are different with us too. And so if we're going to have great closeness and we're going to have great connections, if we desire great collaborations, everything must be customized. Everything that we do with other people has to be customized, because if not, we will miss an opportunity to give a person what they need and to show up based on what what makes them thrive, and show up in a way that makes them feel loved. So I want you to really think about, are you customizing your relationships so that you can have closeness and you can have creativity? Are you customizing your relationships so that they can be purposeful versus predictable? Are you customizing your relationships so that they can be fruitful and not fatal? Are you customizing how you are interacting with a person so that they can feel your love and it doesn't feel like a liability? So I want you to just to think of those things. Again, intimacy requires inquiry, which means we have to ask questions. We don't know what's in someone else's mind. And if we don't ask questions, it's really a sign of arrogance. Yeah? It's a sign of a lack of humility. So 3 things again that I want you to remember to make sure we have healthy, fruitful, loving, mutually satisfying, heart-centered relationships. 1, make sure you express love in a way that a person experiences love. Again, make sure you express love in a way that a person experiences love. They have to match. You can't give people ice cream if they want broccoli, and you can't give people a present if they want time. It won't feel like love to them. Again, expression, experience have to match. 2, live your life by the platinum rule and not the golden rule. The golden rule says, do to others as you will have them do unto you. But it's not about you, it's about them, which means that we have to do the platinum rule, which means to treat people how they want to be treated, which means we have to ask questions. We can't have relationships by assumption, because if so, what you think is love might feel like an assault or an attack. The third thing is, remember that every relationship has to be customized, because we are not made on assembly lines. We are wired differently by God. We have been reared differently. We have had different experiences. Other things turn us on or turn us off. We like different things. So we have to customize our relationships, because you and I are different people. We're different people. So I hope this helps. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, please share it. And then, hi, Deidre. I also want to let you know that the Get Unstuck masterclass, I will be offering a replay. And if you get the replay, guess what? I'm going to give you a free copy of my first book, I Can Depend on Me. And in that book, I share what I had to do, my process to get unstuck in my life, because some of the things that happened in my life when I was 10 affected me till I was 40, and I didn't realize I was being hooked. So I want you to make sure you get I want you to make sure you get the Unstuck replay and the worksheet. And if you get the replay, I am offering a free ebook copy of my book, I can depend on me. So thanks so much, Deidre and Tanya and whoever else joined me. I really appreciate your time. I always am so grateful when you spend time with me. So I am off in this cold, snowy weather in Missouri, off to my meeting. But thanks so much. Blessings to you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Blessings to you.